my name's Felicia May, and I have a website and blog called Dishes for the Senses. I'm a home chef, and I love to cook for people, and I love to entertain. And one of the main things that I'm striving to do is to cook gluten-free. And lately, I've really had to also cut down on dairy and trying very hard to eat healthy, lose weight, be nutritious, have really good blood draws at the doctor, things like lower cholesterol and things like that. And so I'm going to show you today how to make this baked frittata. And this one in particular today is going to be vegetarian and plant-based cheeses. You can modify these though. Frittatas are great because you can put what you have in your fridge, the vegetables that you have in your crisper, things that you had left over from last night, like a roasted asparagus or anything like that. One of the main things I always put in my frittata, almost always, is greens of some kind. So I like things like power greens, baby kale, baby spinach, and then I like to use the brown cage-free eggs. If you're trying to use less egg, you can do egg white, or you can do half and half. And so, but today the one that I'm gonna make is gonna have veggie sausage, plant-based cheese, and power greens sauteed. And so where I'm at right now, I'm gonna spray the dish. The one I use, it's a Pyrex dish, and it's like 8 by 11 by 2. Spray it with a non-stick cooking spray. If you're somebody who needs to eat gluten-free or cannot absolutely have any gluten at all, be careful. Even things like this spray that I'm using needs to be designated as gluten-free. And so where I'm at now, I've got the veggie sausage here cooking. This one is a spicy veggie sausage, and you want it to be, I use a light olive oil just to get it basically warmed up, because ultimately you're going to put this all together in the Pyrex dish, and then you're going to put it into the oven. And so I'm getting it was frozen, and I am getting them warmed up so that I can chop them up and put them in here. And then you'll see it's really quite easy. And my husband and I, it's just the two of us, and we like to have our food prepared ahead of time. We're both busy. And I am also a teacher, happen to be right now in my summer break, and so I'm working on things for the website, stuff like that. But generally speaking, I like to be able to just take my food with me to work where I teach, or even when I'm here, I like it to be prepared and ready to go. And so over time, I'd like to make videos to help everybody with convenience of food prepping, batch cooking. And also I'd like to help people figure out this whole gluten-free thing. I know it took me a while to get it all figured out, and I was still sick, and like, why am I sick? And so I'm gonna share with you over time as many things as I can that helped me to feel better and living the gluten-free lifestyle so that I can be healthy. All right, so the sausage is cooking. I just have it on like a medium. It's been on for a couple of minutes. And when I like to mess up as few dishes as possible. And so you've got this, I'm gonna use this both with the sausage and the greens, the skillet, and then everything's gonna cook in the Pyrex dish. And it's gonna be awesome and easy. All right, and so these are coming off. And I also like to multitask. And so while I'm chopping the sausages, the greens are going to be wilting in the same pan. Making it easy. Cleanup should also be easy. We're all busy people. Remember, greens, even the baby version of them, are gonna cook up to nothing, it seems. And so you'll put a good bit in the skillet. And then you'll turn around after doing something else, and it'll be like, wait, where'd they go? And so this will turn out to be 8 servings. And I used 10 eggs. If I use more filling than this, like more vegetables, like say I were gonna add roasted red bell peppers and asparagus and artichokes, then I would probably need more eggs to make sure that I cover what I've got in here. And so because of the water content in the greens, it can sometimes kind of pop. And so I turned it down a little. See it, look at it, it's crazy. It's wilting down already. As it does that, then I start to add the rest of what I wanted to add. Again, you could always use a bigger skillet and use multiple skillets if you just really love doing dishes. I try very hard to use as little salt as possible. And so I'm not salting any of these things. You gotta remember, if you use prepackaged meats or veggie meats, they're gonna have sodium. And so if you are using prepackaged meats, including things like bacon and turkey bacon, you gotta make sure it's gluten-free if that's one of the things we're striving to do. And so while that is cooking down, I have just a little more I'm gonna add, and then I'm gonna start chopping up the sausage. It's crazy how quickly it will go. And then you've got the sausage that's gonna go in. Remember, it didn't have to be totally cooked because it's gonna cook in the oven some more. And this is the base for me. My meats or veggie meats, they go in and I spread them around. Eventually you're gonna get like 8 squares. Okay, there, that's spread around, and that's really all the chopping involved, actually. Washing up. That's really all the chopping there is, because this wilts. Now, if you use baby spinach, I have noticed that that is a little higher in the water content. And so you'll see me using tongs a lot, and if baby spinach is very much, or if it's all baby spinach and it's really watery, you want to squeeze out the water, and the tongs are a perfect tool for that. And so when we get to that point, we're getting really close. I turn over the greens, kind of wilting ones over on top of the ones that haven't quite wilted, and it helps it go faster. We go through some greens in this house, I'll tell you. There are days, normal days, where we have greens like at every meal. And so I have sauteed a green or two in my life. All right, so there's that. And then I see there's some dripping going on, but if it was all baby spinach, it would really be dripping. And so I just kind of shake it out, layer it in. You want every square of this frittata to have greens in it. And so those are going in. Some people are funny about the little stems. I am not. And we don't mind it, and so they go in. I will say, if you use regular spinach, that even I take the stems off of that. And so that's the other reasoning for using baby greens. And they're just everywhere. You can find them in every store. All the store brands have them. It's like everywhere. All right, and so what you got now? You've got the veggie sausage down. Remember, you sprayed it with a cooking spray. Then I'm gonna go in here. For me, I'm going in with plant-based cheese. Like I said, this one is mozzarella. I'm spreading it all around. It's about 1/3 of the bag. Okay. And then I love Italian seasoning. And so after I get the eggs, I like this particular bowl. It's kind of like a bowl measuring cup. I like this one because I can spread it around with that spout on the end. I already have the oven preheated to 375. I have experimented with the convection oven with these recipes, and I didn't think it went as well. And so, okay, there went the eggs in. I try to do it evenly. And then you might want to also use, the whisk to get things down into the eggs. Whatever sticks up top above it, I've noticed can sometimes burn. All right, so salt and pepper. Very little salt is going on here if possible. I try so hard to not use a whole bunch of salt. I don't need that in my life. And so honestly, you're ready to go. And so if you want to use the whisk to push down a little bit to get everything more in there with the eggs to keep it from burning on top, you can do that. This would be another thing that'd be great, right, to add to here. This one would be roasted red bell pepper, any kind of fresh bell pepper. And then herbs, this would be the time to do that. Like if you had some chives or something, this would be a good time to do that. But it's going in the oven, 375. I'm gonna start watching it at about 20 minutes. And it could go anywhere between 20 and 25 minutes in my oven. If you're doing this for the first time, you may wanna start watching it at even maybe 18 minutes. But it's gonna be great, and I'll post pictures later. Bye.